Calloway at the Savoy Ball, nor Benny Goodman at Carnegie Hall, but you tap your toes, you will see, 'cause he likes to swing in a minor key. It's not a trumpet or a sax, it won't make you mourn, but it sounds mighty good with an old ram's horn. He's a pious man with his tireless sway, and teaching the good book with his guitar playing. And he's the swinging rabbi, hot as a kettle. He's the swinging rabbi coming to your shtetl. He's the swinging rabbi like Abraham and Moshe. He's the swinging rabbi, his food is kosher, and eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. His wife's not Sarah, Rebecca, or Ruth. Drinks Manischewitz, not vermouth. Doesn't listen to sins in a musty old booth. Not Esther, Golda, or Nellie. He met her down at the corner deli, dancing the horror, not the jitterbug. Between tables she'd cut the rug. They've got the spirit, there's no denying. At holiday time they got locusts frying, eating and dancing and singing and playing, having a big time, that's what I'm saying. He's a swinging rabbi, hot as a kettle. He's a swinging rabbi coming to your shtetl. He's the swinging rabbi like Abraham and Moshe. He's a swinging rabbi, his food is kosher, and eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. His wife's not Sarah, Rebecca, Ruth. Drinks Manischewitz, not vermouth. Doesn't listen to sins in a musty old booth. Skull cap to one side, he's got a bald spot he's trying to hide. Says his prayers with a special ring. He knows how to shake that thing. The sun's going down, it's Friday evening, it's the Sabbath. The work week we're leaving like candles break bread. Not all we do, thank God for family, friends, and the rabbi too. He's the swinging rabbi, hot as a kettle. He's the swinging rabbi coming to your shtetl. He's the swinging rabbi like Abraham and Moshe. He's the swinging rabbi, his food is kosher, and eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. His wife's not Sarah, Rebecca, Manischewitz, not vermouth. Doesn't listen to sins in a musty old booth. He's a swinging rabbi. He ain't Cab Calloway at the Savoy Ball, nor Benny Goodman at Carnegie Hall, but you tap your toes, you will see, 'cause he likes to swing in a minor key. It's not a trumpet or a sax, it won't make you mourn, but it sounds mighty good with an old ram's horn. He's a pious man with his tireless sway, and teaching the good book with his guitar playing. And he's the swinging rabbi, hot as a kettle.
Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to the Blue Jean and Bling Summer Soiree honoring Rabbi Guttman. Yes, loud is okay. Laughter and clapping is fine tonight. Right, Rabbi? In the sanctuary. A huge thank you to our committee, Amy Epstein, Erica Leventon, Mitchel Sommers, Jane Rosengranden, Gary Grandin, and Chris and Andy Aronson. Let's thank them. As always, Laura, you and your staff are amazing. Thank you. Now a big thank you to our sponsors who are listed in tonight's program. Thank you very much. And also thank you to Randy and Brad Seaman and Painted Plate. They're always so generous and gracious to us. So ladies and gentlemen, it's not too late to be part of this vision. We want to double the Rabbi Fred Guttman Endowment Fund for Temple Emanuel. For 26 years, Rabbi Guttman made a difference every day. This endowment fund will continue to make a difference long into the future. Our book of the new year is a great opportunity to honor and celebrate Rabbi Guttman's legacy with a gift. Let's really knock his socks off. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on to our program.
We'll get started in just a minute. Rabbi Fred should be here any minute. Okay, get this all set up. Has anybody seen Rabbi Fred? Okay, I'm sure he'll be here in a second. Okay, we got that. Okay, what's that? Okay, I'm gonna get my water. Julie, did you see Rabbi Fred? Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna get started anyway. I'm sure he'll be here momentarily. If you'll turn to page 142, we'll start with Shalom Aleichem. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamla. What the? V'kadosh ba. Is that Rabbi Fred? Oh my God. Bolchem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Rabbi, come on! Till you kratz l'chais, Avachuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedkem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom.
Well, why are you singing this version? This isn't the version we talked about. There's a new one. I got the
You just sent me the menu 15 minutes ago and you said no changes, no changes.
No changes to my program. I have the new song. We're going to talk about it. I got a book. Don't worry about it.
Oh, Gaval, you're going to drive me out of my mind. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry, but when the spirit hits the rabbi, we go with the flow. Okay.
All right, I got my bags. I got my guitar. I should be all right. Yeah.
So it's the other Shalom Aleichem?
Yeah, we'll do the other one. No.
Okay, the Catskill one.
Sure, why not? Yeah,
Okay.
that's the best of it.
Andy? You look like Andy with the head. Okay, all right, okay. Here we go.
No, I don't want to do this one either. I'm moved to sing something else.
I'm going to move your tuchus in a minute.
Calm down.
Rabbi, come here, I got to talk.
What do you want?
First of all, you look like a schluck. You walk in with bedroom slippers, the same gray pants I've seen for the last 26 years. Turn around, your tuchus is sticking underneath the queue. The towel is off a jibble.
It's all fine. You see, you tie it around, and you touch it.
Okay.
All right, good. I'm beautiful. I don't know what you're saying. All right, I got the perfect piece of music. Yeah, here we go.
Were you eating something when you came in? I told you 1,000 times, when you go fish, don't take food off the owner. Okay. All right. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get it right on the third song. Rabbi, get your music.
Okay, I got it.
Third time is the charm,
Yeah,
right?
I always think so.
Okay. Andy, if you please. Come here, my yids, and you'll hear a tale, a book of mice are true. A boy chick who's from Tennessee, who became a super Jew.
On Macher Alexander Muss in Florida, he'd see that there was a place just right for him in Greensboro, NC.
Where he slept his family. I go out! The weather started getting rough. Out the cock is fetched from afar. But he put the Green Street organ away and whipped out his guitar. Rabbi, who do you think you are? On rolling wood he set up shop and began a brand new life with Elon Maytal and Yo up too, and Nancy B, his sweet wife.
With little hair on his head, passionate services he led. He spoke of life and strife.
Social justice was his theme, a service for MLK. Temple doors flew open wide, whether straight by trans or gay. Much of the living Jefferson Road and many interfaith trips. Love for God and freedom for all was always on his lips.
Ever Torah on Shabbat, a Jewish festival we'd see. Always helped with NCCJ and the NAACP.
We love to sing and harmonize, your repeats would never end. Todah for all you've done for us, our rabbi and our friend.
It's like looking into a mirror.
What would you say, like looking into a mirror?
Just like a mirror.
All right, Rabbi, get out of your gatkis and go change, and we'll see you in a minute.
All right, see you in a minute.
Okay. Let's hear it for Rabbi Fred. Yeah. So, I'm one of the Altakakas that have known Fred from the day that he came here. I actually was here before Rabbi Fred came here. That's how long I've been around. One of my earliest charming memories was we barely knew each other, and he called me up and he said, pick me up at Green Street. This is when we were down on Green Street. We're going out to Blumenthal home in Clemens. I'm bringing my guitar. Remember that? We both had dark hair and all. And we rode out there, and for those of you who don't know, there was this amazing Jewish home out in Clemens, North Carolina, just down the road. And we went over there, and we sang all afternoon songs and made a lot of the people there very happy. And it was a very sweet memory that I have, one of our first ones. One of the things that I've loved watching about Fred over the years is his love for talent. And when he spots somebody at Temple Emanuel that has a talent, whether it be instrumental or vocal or visual, he's there to cultivate it. We've seen things, young people involved in the children's choir, Purim spiels, leading services, the high holidays. There aren't enough opportunities that he can give somebody. So when Dana Bederson joined us, I think it's 2 years now, right? Yeah. He found out that she is aspiring to become a cantor, and so he got her very involved, and we love having her up on the bima, being part of the services. She has a beautiful voice, she plays guitar beautiful, and she has a lovely texture to what we do here at Temple. So Dana's going to join us now and sing a song for you, Fred. I'll bring this for you. Yeah.
The stool where I stand. Yeah. Hi, everyone. 1 second. So I don't fall off this bima, too. Thank you. Perfect. Hi, my name is Dana. I go to Guilford College just down the road. And the first time I came to Temple, I was like, oh my gosh, a Reformed synagogue in the South. I'm from D.C., Washington, D.C. I grew up there. And I got out of an Uber with one of my friends, Kayla, who graduated last year. And Rabbi Guttman comes bursting out of the side doors and goes, "You must be Dana." And I was like, hi, yeah, I'm Dana. He's like, "I've heard all about you from your cantor. Here's my guitar. Go out there and sing some songs. And, I'll be out there in a minute." And I was like, okay, whatever you say. And that was my first time with Rabbi Guttman. All right. Rabbi Guttman got me really involved with music here at Temple, so this is a really special opportunity for me. We are gifts, and we are blessings. We are His story in song. We are hope, and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are givers, and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Ledor vador nagi God lecha. Ledor vador we protect this chain. From generation to generations, Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our hearts, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. I am blessed and I am holy. We are children of your way. And the words that bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. Ledor vador nagi God lecha. Ledor vador we protect this chain. From generation to generations, Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. Ledor vador nagi God lecha. Ledor vador we protect this chain. From generation to generations, Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry to be late. I really didn't want to miss that intro, but I heard it was very funny. So I have compromised a small selection of jokes and roasts for Rabbi Guttman, but unfortunately we don't have time for all of these. So instead, there has been a video prepared with some wonderful remarks. I'm not going to ruin any surprises, but I think you're really going to enjoy some of the nice things they say about our very own Rabbi Fred Guttman.
Rabbi Fred Guttman, you are one of my heroes. And you are a hero not only to the Reformed Jewish movement, to the Jewish people more broadly, but Fred Guttman, you are a hero to all people everywhere. I'm Rabbi Jonah Pesner, the director of the Religious Action Center of Reform Judaism, the largest and most diverse denomination in Jewish life, and proud to be a friend, a colleague, and a disciple of Rabbi Fred Guttman. Fred, Mazel Tov, as we celebrate your distinguished decades of service to the Jewish people in North America, in Israel, and across the world, and to fighting for the civil rights and the freedoms and social justice for all people everywhere. We say, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek. May you go forth in strength in Israel and in North Carolina. May your community in Greensboro continue to thrive and to grow. May all the people of North Carolina, of the United States, of Israel, and all people everywhere continue to be inspired and guided by you. And as we are strengthened by your vision and by your teaching, may you continue to thrive and to flourish as you grow your family and you celebrate this sacred time in your life. You will always have a home at the Religious Action Center of Reform Judaism. You will always have a home in the NAACP. You'll always have a home in the great land of Israel. You'll always have a home among all of us, because we love you, Rabbi Fred Guttman. Mazel Tov.
Rabbi Fred Guttman, I know there are many places that you love in this world. Temple Emanuel, Greensboro, North Carolina is the heart and soul of a community that you have built, but I'm standing here in Yerushalayim, here in Jerusalem, a place that you not only love, but have worked a lifetime to strengthen the bonds between American Jews and this beloved state of Israel. I know that this is a moment for you to celebrate the years of service and dedication, the way you've grown the congregation, the way you've served the causes of justice, the way you have lifted up a prophetic voice over and over again. I've seen you in your own pulpit. I've heard you and learned from you and loved you as part of this leadership of our Reform movement. So I want to say to you at this time of celebration that you not only have earned the love and respect of Temple Emanuel, but you have earned the respect of your colleagues and your entire movement. It says in the book of Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy, Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof, very well known, justice, justice you shall pursue. And of course, you have pursued justice every step of the way. But the verse goes on in Deuteronomy to say that you must pursue justice so that there will be a thriving and a vitality to the Jewish people in our land. So the justice that you have pursued has built and strengthened and expressed the very core of our tradition. So as you look back and as you are celebrated, let us look forward to the next chapter. We know that you have much leadership still in your rabbinic soul. So please, at this momentous time, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek, may you continue to be strengthened as you have strengthened all of us. Rabbi Fred Guttman, we love you.
Hi, I'm Rabbi Jerry Newberg, and I'm honored to share a few words in celebration of Rabbi Fred Guttman. In my last year of rabbinical school at HUC in Cincinnati, I had the great privilege of being an intern at Temple Emanuel in Greensboro with Rabbi Guttman. Rabbi Guttman taught me to love and treasure Israel. He taught me both the practical and spiritual matters of what it means to be a rabbi in this world. And he inspired me to continue to seek greatness in all I do as a rabbi. So thank you, Rabbi Guttman. Thank you, Temple Emanuel, and wishing you and yours all of the very best in what's to come.
Rabbi Guttman, I am so honored to speak a few words about your retirement I've decided to film this in a place that you don't have to go anymore. It's 8:05 on a Wednesday night, and I'm in my office. I'm not at a meeting. I'm not with my family. I'm writing a eulogy. A very familiar place, I know, for you, because I know how hard you have always worked. When I left Greensboro, North Carolina, to go to HUC, I left a beautiful small city with a Reformed synagogue that had a tremendous legacy, a huge history, and a beautiful Greek Revival building with a religious school across the street. And our own eggs were in the basement, or in the area with the stage. I don't even know what you call it. The rabbi's office had shag carpeting and orange chairs, and the walls inside that part of the building were all wood paneling. We started singing up in the choir loft when I got there, and by the time I left, I was downstairs singing, standing next to the rabbi. And it was the most incredible experience. And when I came back and saw that they had hired the most dynamic, interesting, energetic rabbi, it was truly an inspiration, and I was very excited for Greensboro. There was not 1 second that I ever spoke with you that you didn't teach me something. You were always reading something. You had been to a seminar. You had found some great music. You had met a great performer. You were taking 10,000 children to Europe. You had raised money to build the most glorious synagogue with a campus in a part of town where everybody had kind of moved. And I mean, you were simply always an inspiration. And you were so excited by my learning, which was funny because you just showed me so much. I have very few people who give me music. And quite frankly, anything they give me, I usually have. Not true with you. You always had something to give me that I didn't have, and I needed it. And you recorded it. And you had one of your incredible students singing it on the holy days, and in 8-part harmony, and Mitchell singing the descant. And I mean, you know, you're unbelievable. I just have to say, one of my regrets, and we've shared this before, was that I didn't get to work with you on an everyday basis. I wish I had a concurrent life that I could have professionally worked by your side and been part of this incredible synagogue that you created. There's a wisdom that we say, Aseh lecha rav ukne lecha chaver. Find yourself a teacher and create in that person a friend. I know I am not the only one who felt that way about you. So I'm just going to sing a little bit of that song. You know, I love to come to Greensboro, and I hope to come someday soon. And this is how this version goes. Aseh lecha rav ukne lecha chaver. That's all I'm singing. I wish I could be there with all of you. I've gotten to know you over the years because Rabbi Guttman and Rabbi Koren brought me in back to visit, allowed me to teach, and honored me every single time. So, Fred, enjoy being with your incredible wife, your amazing children, your grandchildren. Be glad you're not in your office writing a eulogy anymore at 8 o'clock at night on a Thursday or whatever day it is. And just know how much you have changed Greensboro and my life and everyone who's ever known you. last forever. Enjoy. And I see you soon, I hope.
Hi, Rabbi G. I want to wish you a wonderful retirement. I'm sorry that I'm not able to be there to celebrate with you in person, but I hope that this musical contribution will bring a smile to your face. The first piece that I would like to share with you is one that you've heard me sing before, though it's been a while. And the second piece is one that I never had the privilege to sing in Temple, but I always loved hearing others sing it on the Bima, and I wanted to make a special arrangement to celebrate your retirement and all of the amazing contributions that you've made to my life and all of our lives in the Temple Emanuel Greensboro community. So I hope you enjoy and happy retirement, and I hope it's a wonderful celebration.
One of my biggest joys here at Temple is being here, I think, close to 30 years. I see people that started, I knew them when they were 7 running around in the congregation, and now they're here with their children, and it's just a real joy. So I met Jessie Grandin when she was a little girl here at Temple, watched her grow up, and then one day she was invited over to Nancy and Fred's for dinner, and they invited me because her new husband was in musical theater, wants to be in a show. I'm like, oh my God, here we go, So I came over for dinner, and there was this guy, Andy, and I said, well, we're holding auditions next week for The Wizard of Oz if you want to come. And there he was, and he opened his mouth. Oh, my God, I love his voice. So he played the Tin Man. So I have a lovely relationship with both of them. They're very dear. They're very special to the congregation. So I'm going to bring up Jessie, who is the original Oseh Shalom girl. She'll tell you about that. And then Andy also has a treat for you.
So when I was 15 or 16, I think, Rabbi Guttman came, and I had just come home from Camp Coleman. Go Coleman. And I had done some song leading, and I'd been playing guitar for a few years and really just kind of had begun my learning. And he said, oh, great, you're a song leader at camp. Come on. Do you have any friends that sing? Oh, great. Your friend Rebecca sings. Fantastic. Come on, let's do this every Friday night. You'll come and sing Oseh Shalom, and it's going to be fantastic, and you're going to be a rock star. And I said, okay. So I did really, really try to get Rebecca to come, and unfortunately she had another event that she had to be a part of tonight. So she sends her best wishes and lots of love, and she sent me like on Facebook, they send the little emojis, like pictures, and so she sent me one that said break a leg this morning, because she knew that it was happening. But Rabbi Guttman took me, I was on the first trip of the March of the Living from Greensboro. He wrote me recommendations for college. He wrote me recommendations for graduate school. His wife has always been an inspiration to me, and we are both social workers, and we work, kind of work together in tandem with families, and I grew up with his kids, and they're just the greatest family, and we're so happy to have been a part of this, and I know that my family will take full responsibility for you being here, and we're totally cool with that. So I had to, of course, come and sing you an Oseh Shalom because it's been a while, so if you guys want to join me, you're welcome to. Oseh Shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
That lady's really pretty. If anyone has her number, please give it to me. So I'm going to sing a part of a song that Rabbi Fred gave to me out of the blue. He said, I think you'd be good at this, and I hope you all agree. And I thought it was a beautiful song, and I've sang it a few times at Temple, and I hope you enjoy it now. It's called The Flame. The sun's going down. There's fire in the sky. It kindles a flame. Close the eyes. Draw it into your heart. Let it stay. Cherish the time when time slows down, when angels sing and peace is found, when the light of day transforms the night. We remember and keep the flame alive. Where there is light, justice grows and flows like a river of wine. All will be safe and free under the shade of the vine, under the shade of the tree. This is how we survive. We remember and keep the flame alive. Thank you. Now, our next speaker, you may all know, he used to have the title of assistant rabbi. But now, thanks to Fred retiring, and mostly on his own merits, obviously, we can now call him Senior Rabbi Andy Koren.
I had to write down what I was going to say tonight, because if I tried to riff it, I would be up here forever and ever. And really, this is such a beautiful program. I want to, again, thank everybody who put this night together and everybody who's participated and everybody who's going to participate. Let's give everybody a very big round of applause. Fred, I got like this whole list of great moments of Guttman, but I will never forget how you and I went to the send-off for our dear friend, Episcopalian Bishop Chip Marble of blessed memory. He was retiring after a career of service, having distinguished himself in so many ways, including, as we were telling the story, including being a voice for civil rights in the Deep South, right, at a time when ministers were paying for it with their lives. And others had said their words, and then you stood up to speak to Bishop Marble about retirement. You remember that. By the way, I hope I haven't stolen what you're going to say tonight. And your observations to everybody as you were talking to him were to consider the word retire. See, because for most it means slowing down. But you told everybody, you said, if you look at it a different way, and you take that word retire and you break it up, it means retire. In other words, putting on a new set of tires. Not slowing down, but readying yourself for the roads ahead and to keep on driving. And you and I have joked over the years that I know all of your sermons, that I know all your teachings and stories, and that may be true. But there's always something new, something else, something innovative, some way of looking at community, Torah, at the world. You've been so generous to share it, and you always come up with it. Words such as transformative are used when people speak of you, Fred. You know that. And they're not exaggerating. My friend, you have no off switch. And retiring is just that for you. It's a new set of tires for the tireless work and dedication that you've given to God, to Torah, to family, to Am Yisrael, the Jewish people, not to mention the world as a whole. Thank you for that. Give him a big round of applause. Here is another example of your uplifting creativity. It was you who looked at our temple building and remarked at its shape, right? Its distinctive curvature. You ever notice how our building isn't boxy, it's a curve, right? And you said that it's shaped like a hug. Our building reflects the welcoming nature of the shul that you envisioned and then built together with a long list of partners. Come on in, hang out with us. It was always so inviting and colloquial, and it was right. We will appropriately embrace you. Let's be together, learn together, laugh together, cry together, sing together, and above all, grow together. Be Jewish together and radiate that to the world. Fred, I'm not sure if it was deliberate or not, but the permanent seats of this shul, of this sanctuary, are also shaped with a curve. And it's another hug. And I hope that tonight, as you continue to take these next steps in your life, that you feel that hug. It's from a community that cares for you, that's been with you for so long, and that truly loves you. Even those of us who are newer feel like you're part of our mishpacha, and we love you. We are better for having learned with you, laughed and cried with you, sang and danced with you, and grown with you and your family. So, Fred, thank you for leaving such a deep imprint on this temple, and God's blessings to you. You've done it for so many. Michal, my family, and I thank you for all that you've been. Let's say it together, friends. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Gratitude to God for giving us life, sustaining us, and bringing us together on this happy and holy occasion to which we all say, Amen. Thank you.
I can't decide whether because we're a very musical congregation, we attract a lot of talent, or there just happens to be a lot of talent in our congregation, and the rabbi and rabbis have always supported showcasing that talent. You know, as I was sitting this morning, I mean, literally, I could go on and on, but I thought about the Fribush boys on the piano, on the sax, and any instrument you put in front of them, they would sit down and play for us at services. I thought about Brooks Whitehouse when he plays a beautiful cello at the Kol Nidra. I thought about Jaron Orenstein during the holidays and the violin. The Sinai Mountain Ramblers, made up of so many members of our congregation, and I could go on and on and on. So many years ago, because the voices here tend to be more like legit, operatic, you know. Then one year this woman got up, a member of the congregation, and I loved her voice. It had like a nice rock kind of feel to it. So I always get very excited when Fred would tell me that she would be singing something for us today or at a service. So please welcome Julie Bean, and she called Nancy to find out from Nancy what was some of Fred's favorite songs, so this is one of them.
Already.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure I got all my chazarai just for a second. Okay, I'm good.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get tough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. Oh, Thank you so much. My goodness. I will always be very appreciative to Rabbi Guttman for the incredibly warm welcome that my family received when we entered this temple many, many years ago. And I have always appreciated how he has encouraged music in my family, and just all that he has done for all of us in our community and in the wider world. And I am definitely a better person because of you. And I appreciate that and love you. Thank you.
Fred, we've got another video for you. To make the connection from the previous one, you heard Dr. Sire talking about singing a song. So that's coming up now. So just a little tidbit about Emily. When she was about 10 years old, I was directing Annie at the community theater. And I didn't even know she was a member of Temple, to be honest with you. But this little doll walked in, and she had this amazing voice, and she got cast as Annie. And as I started working with her, I found out that she was in religious school and attended Temple Emanuel. And I got hold of Fred. I said, you are coming to see the show. You've got to hear this little girl knock out tomorrow, you know. And so Fred can't remember that, and he went out of his mind, you know. And that was the beginning of Emily. So ever since she was a little girl, she sang at services. She turned out to be an amazing classical operatic soprano, and we're very, very proud of her. I know her mom and dad are here today, and I know they're very proud of her as well. So I wanted to set that up as you watch the second part, as well as some testimonials from some people who love you very, very much.
The sun will come out tomorrow, and your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick up my chin and grin and sigh. Oh, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya tomorrow. You're only a day away. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick up my chin and grin and sigh. Oh, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may,
Dearest Fred, I was truly honored when I received this mail asking me to say a few words at this ceremony that you truly, truly deserve. I've known you since 1980, and you've enriched my life in ways which I've never told you. You're the first Southern Jew that I ever met, and all of a sudden, not only your Southern drawl, but your gentleness, your charm, gave me a whole different impact on Southern Jewry, on Reform Jewry, your music with the students, your enthusiasm, teaching, enthusiasm of giving over knowledge. It was truly overwhelming for me as one of the first Reform rabbis I ever knew to open up a whole new vista and understanding of American Jewry. And because of that, anything that I have given since knowing you to the myriads of students that I have, all comes to you. Thank you so much, Fred. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Shalom v'lehitraot.
Hey, Fred, it's hard to believe that it was 48 years ago when we moved in together as roommates during our first year at the Hebrew Union College in Yerushalayim. Since then, I've been so proud to watch your career unfold in front of our very eyes. So proud of the social justice leadership that you've exerted in Greensboro. So proud of your commitment to Israel and Zionism and seeing a healthy, vibrant Israel for all of us. But mostly so proud of the incredible congregation that you've nurtured and supported and built over these many years. Temple Emanuel would not be the wonderful congregation it is today if it was not for you. And one personal message: retirement's really good. I have time finally to do those things that really matter to me, and to actually get to sleep at a reasonable hour and not worry about that phone call that's going to come in the middle of the night. Fred, enjoy this retirement. You deserve it. Much love to Nancy. We love you very much.
Hi, Freddie.
Hey, Abba. Mazel tov on your retirement. Can't believe it. Just wanted to reflect and say how proud we are of everything that you've accomplished in your career. You nearly have it all. You have a love of Judaism. You're an amazing educator. I've been lucky enough to be on trips to Israel with you and twice on the March of the Living. And you have a real gift for bringing people together, a love of music, of spirituality, of family and tradition, good food, and it's just been, it's hard to go to any other synagogue because you are just have set the bar high for what an amazing rabbi can be. Your passion for social justice is incredibly inspiring, and you're a real hero of mine, and it's been so amazing now, especially that you've been retired, spending this amount of time with you, and our boys are so lucky to have you as a grandfather, and I know it's just such a wonderful next chapter in your life.
Hey, everybody. We just wanted to wish you Mazal Tov and say how much we love you, and congratulations on your pension. And we're so glad that you're spending half the year in Israel. As you can tell, she's excited.
מזל טוב, יום הולדת שמח, אוהבת אותך.
אוהבים אותך.
Rabbi Guttman, this is your favorite Congress lady, Kathy Manning, here to say congratulations on your, I won't call it a retirement, I think it's probably just transition from doing all the great work you've been doing for our community for so many years as our wonderful rabbi, to continuing to do all the great work that you do in your private capacity. So thank you for everything you've done for the temple, for the community, for the country, and for the world for so many years. No one can ever dispute your dedication and your hard work. I look forward to continuing to work with you in the future and wish you all the best in your new adventures.
Hi, Abba. Mazal tov and congratulations. We're so proud of you and what an amazing career you've had. And it's been such an inspiration to watch growing up and now as an adult. And you really are a hero to your family, to this community. And it's difficult to be in another Jewish community because of how special the Greensboro community has been to our family, and with you leading it over these last however many years. And then especially for being so inclusive of other people in the community, of our family, our life choices, and always being our biggest cheerleader. So we really love you, and Mazal Tov. Chelsea?
Congratulations, Fred. We're so excited and happy for you and your retirement. We're so grateful for everything you've done and for us and Jewish community of Greensboro, and really Greensboro, the community of Greensboro as a whole. We're so lucky to have you in our lives. And we love you, and we're excited for what's to come.
Fred and I, over the years, had some very heartfelt discussions. We had a similar tenure, I at the Community Theater of Greensboro and here at Temple Emanuel. And, you know, we have a saying in theater that you're just as good as your last show. And so we've had similar experiences. You know that when you're the leader of an organization, you're going to do something, and there are going to be people who absolutely love it, and then people who hate it, and everything in between. And that's part of running an organization. And sometimes it's hard to hear the criticism. Sometimes you go home at night, and even though 10 people told you they loved the sermon, the one that didn't like it is the one that you're up half the night thinking about. That's just human nature. I want to say something that happened to me very early on in my years here. It was, I think, my first year with Fred, and I had something very personal that I wanted to share with him, and I was nervous about how he would react. And Nancy and I had just met and started to become friends. Remember, Nancy, we met for bagel down on Tate Street, and I shared, you know, what I wanted to talk to him about, and she said something that really stuck with me all the years. And she said, Mitchell, yes, he's the rabbi, but he's just a man, you know, with talents and non-talents and flaws and positive things and things that are awesome and things that are challenging. And that really helped me, too, through my years at community theater. But I feel like at the end of the day, everybody who's sitting in this room would have to say that in some way he touched you, he taught you, and he changed your life. And for me, for those of you who know my story, I was Jewish, but I had no clue what congregational life was like, what a spiritual life was like. And it was through my relationship with Fred. He sent me to classes. He sent me to the HUC. I had people, he would give me music to learn. And I found my way as a Jew and my life here in Temple Emanuel. So I want to sing a song from Wicked that I feel, Fred, this song is not only from me to you, but I'm singing it on behalf of everybody who's sitting here in the congregation today. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them. and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets the boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I've learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And no matter how our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a sea drop from a skybird in the distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe we have been changed for the better. And because we knew you, because we knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Our next singer this evening, I don't have a song that she's going to sing, but that's because she's fresh off of a campaign win, so she probably did not have time to prepare one, but we'll see what she has going for us. It's my great honor to bring up Greensboro City Mayor Nancy Vaughan.
Oh, sorry. Don't worry, I won't sing. But if I had to pick a song, I think it would be What I Did for Love. And it is a song, another Broadway tune that I think Mitchell probably knows. And it is all about what you do for love. Rabbi Fred, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a friend, and thank you for being a moral compass in the city of Greensboro. You know, we say he's retired, but if you read Facebook, you know he hasn't. He still likes to mix it up a little bit. And it's so important that we have people in our community who really hold us accountable. I remember sitting in one of the conference rooms when you brought a bunch of people together to talk about police and community relations. And that is something that was important then, it's still very important now. And I know that you weren't giving any of us a pass. You were holding all of us accountable. And that is so incredibly important. You have left such a mark on the city, on me personally. It is wonderful to know somebody and to get to know Nancy, who always truly strives to do the right thing. And for that, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for everything that you've done for our city and things that I know that you will continue to do. I am here today with Councilwoman Mary Kay Abuzawader. Mrs. Hoffman sends her regrets. She's not feeling well this evening, or she would be here too. And we have a little something I would like you to open, so if you don't mind. This is from the city of Greensboro to you. No, it's not a water bill.
Actually, I took in my trash on time this week.
Oh, good. Yeah. So that is a key to the city. It's not something we give out very often, but it truly is for people who have opened our hearts. It doesn't open doors, but it does open our hearts. And on behalf of the city of Greensboro, we give you this key to the city, and we know that you will remember us. Thank you. Mazel tov.
I thought you were going to belt out a song. Okay, all right, thank you. Rabbi, you're on.
This is truly an overwhelming evening. Although he's not here tonight, I really need to begin by thanking Henry Isaacson, who was the head of the search committee in 1995. And without him, I wouldn't be here. And I want to thank Midge Pines, who was the president at the time in particular, and just tell a few Midge stories about that particular time, because as these stories come up, you'll be amazed that I'm standing in front of you now 26 years later. Midge, on the first interview that I had, Midge said, "Oh, you have an hour off at 1 o'clock. What would you like to do?" And I said, "I'd just like to go sit in the sanctuary at Green Street." And, I have a feeling that Midge thought that I would go there to pray, to meditate or something like that. But really what I wanted to do was to go in there and play the 1921 Skinner antique pipe organ, okay? So I went in there and I pulled all the stops out, turned the volume up as loud as I could, and proceeded to play Whiter Shade of Pale. Skip the life, and thank God she didn't walk in. I wouldn't be here tonight, okay? But that's not the only Midge. Where's Midge? That's not the only Midge story. I was here about 3 months, and I managed to get enough money in the discretionary fund to buy an American and an Israeli flag on the pulpit, for the pulpit. And this was not a great thing to do. I didn't ask anybody if I could do it. I just did it, okay? So I put the flags on the pulpit, and the next week, Midge called me up, and we met there, and she said, "Who told you that you could put these flags or purchase these flags on the pulpit? This has to go through the ritual committee." She was right in everything that she said, and I really knew I was in serious trouble. And I looked at her and I said, "Midge, you know what? You're right, but you got to admit they add a little color." Thank you, Midge. Midge actually just 2 days ago said, "You know, Fred, the first year you were totally off the wall." For which I really feel that I was lucky to have that first contract renewed. But in a more serious note, on the second time that I came, and I came back with Nancy, Nancy and I were sitting in the sanctuary. And here, I have to tell you that the social hall and the sanctuary were in really rough shape. There was paint chips peeling off of the walls. The chandeliers were just this black sort of stuff. And I turned to Nancy and I said to her, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can be the rabbi here. How could you let a beautiful sanctuary look like this? And Nancy turned to me and said, you know, these are really great people who really want to work together with you to make this congregation great. And I want you to take this position. And I did. And she was right. Because shortly thereafter, Amy and Joan Thompson and Carolyn LeBauer, blessed memory, fixed all that stuff. And by the time we got to the first high holidays, that sanctuary in 1995, that sanctuary, you remember, David, the sanctuary looked great. And there was just this feeling of something that was happening here and renewal. Now, if you look outside, you will see that the cornerstone of this building says Kehillah Kadoshah Adat Yisrael, which we've talked about many, many times, which means a holy community among the people of Israel, a holy community. And this was the original stone that was on, Amy, help me, what's the name of the street? Lee Street, thank you. And then went to at one time it was in the Rippens building, and we brought it out here and put it, there's two cornerstones out there. The other one says, from Micah, to do justice, to love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. But this one says, from 1907, that the people that founded this congregation, the families that founded it, of which, by the way, one of them was Henry Isaacson's family, they wanted to create a holy community, a kehillah, among the people of Israel, because they realized it takes a community. So I had no idea what was going to happen tonight, all right? But I really want to tell you that as it's been totally lovely, and I really like it, and it's a big ego boost for me. But there's one part that's missing, and that's you. That's the kehillah part, the community. Because everything that we did, and I did a lot of other things just by virtue of being the rabbi here, but everything that we did that was really, really, really important, we did together. In 1995, there were 363 families in this congregation. Now there's 600. We did that together. We were part of a kehillah. "26 years later, from 1995, the temple's endowment is 7 times greater than it was then. That we did together. And most of it was you, because you cared. This new building, you think I have $8 million to write a check for this building? No. This building, which every time somebody comes in here, okay, including the rabbinical students they said, whoa, look at this sanctuary, look at this building. I didn't do that. But whatever part I had was fairly small, because we are a kehillah. We did this together. You and me, this building. You should give yourself a big round of applause for that. When we started out in 1997 with 4 people for Torah study, we could have never imagined that by 2019 we'd have 50 or 60 a week. We did that together. We created kehillah. We did that together, Rabbi Koren, when we made sure that all of our kids could go year after year after year to the Litakin Social Justice Seminar at at the Religious Action Center in Washington. We did it together when we had LGBTQ Shabbat services. We did it together when more than, I would estimate, more than 200 couples have stood on this pulpit or the Green Street pulpit to reconsecrate their marriage. Right, Jerry? We did it together. All of us. This wasn't Fred, this was all of us. And we did it together on that amazing night. Oh, 2,000 people are here on a Tuesday night after the Saturday tragedy when 11 of our fellow Jews were murdered in Pittsburgh. Paul, our president, had to tell some people they couldn't come in. 2,000 people, according to the Greensboro Police Department. So they had 1,200 inside, and later we found out, didn't we, Andy, that they were doing something out there. We didn't even know about it. We did that together. We did that together with the Martin Luther King services, which you were such a, and I'm so glad you're here, that you were such a part of. We did it together when more than 200 people from this congregation attended the March of the Living. We did it together when we took your father. How many times did we take him? 3 times. And we did it together when we took Hank Brott either 8 or 9 times. These people are blessed of memory. And not only did we do it for ourselves, but there were another 75 people from Beth David who went with us on the March of the Living. We did it together when we managed to raise the money to take 3 interfaith clergy trips to the Holy Land. We did it together, and I have to say this part I really appreciate because my mother passed away right before COVID, and I know what her cemetery looks like. We did it together along with Amy Thompson, Leonard guys, Paul Benson, Marilyn Benson, all the other people whose names, forgive me for not mentioning. When we endowed our cemetery, we fixed the drainage, we put the roads in, and we made sure that, quite frankly, you will be hard-pressed to find another cemetery as well taken care of and as beautiful as the one here in Greensboro, North Carolina. That wasn't me, that was us. That was us. We did it together when we participated in the Feast of Caring and when the Brotherhood did the served meal at the Greensboro Urban Ministry. We did it together when Laurie Regal and Nancy Guttman founded the Greensboro Jewish Festival. We did it together when we made sure that the rabbi of this congregation stood in the footsteps of Rabbi Fred Ribbons, Rabbi Joe Asher, Rabbi Arnie Tass, Rabbi Fred Guttman, and now Rabbi Andy Koren. We did it together when we made sure that the rabbi of this holy congregation, by virtue of his participation in the community, is viewed by the outside community as being the titular head of the Jewish community in Greensboro. And by the way, given the amount of activity that Rabbi Koren has, this is going to continue. We did it together. In 2003, when I got a resume from Andy Koren, who I taught as an 18-year-old kid in Israel, okay, and called up Michal. Where's Michal? Okay, I called up his wife, Michal, and said, tell him he's got the job. He just, has to come here and convince the lay folks. And you could have heard the sigh of disappointment in my voice when your wife told me that you were interviewing someplace else. Lucky I didn't have a heart attack, and that was so hard. And then we did it together when we got Rabbi Fisher. Yeah, boy. Kihila Kadosha, a holy community. We are a community. And we will continue to be a community. Yes, the senior rabbi has changed, but we have a great senior rabbi. We have a wonderful rabbinical staff here. Now, all of this togetherness could not have happened without you, Mitch. But it could not have happened unless I really honestly have to tell you that I was privileged to work with wonderful presidents, with Jerry Pinsker, Neil Belinkie, Barry Frank, Sherry Dickstein, Mark Isaacson, Andy Broad, David Delman, Ron Milstein, Gayle Bernstein, Diane Goldstein, Paul Mingert, Amy Thompson, and Amy Epstein. Please give them a round of applause. And then there's three people on the staff that I've worked with for 26 years. One was Brenda Henley, who made me a much better rabbi than I ever really was. Another one was Laura Denhart, or is Laura Denhart, who's just fabulous. And then my brothers of different mothers, Mitchel Sommers, who just every time we were on the pulpit together was just wonderful. Our friendship is very deep. And of course, really, truly my best friend outside of my family, Rabbi Andy Koren. I want to echo what Paul said. I want to thank the members of the committee, led by Andy and Chris, Jane and Gary, Mitchel Sommers, Amy Epstein, Paul Benson, Erica Levitan, Brian Goldberg, Gayle Bernstein, Sherry Dickstein, Diane Goldstein, and Linda Sloan. All of these people deserve so much thanks from me. But first and foremost is you, Nance. Next month it's going to be 50 years. Not since we've been married, but since we met each other and started dating. We've been married 47 years. As I mentioned, Nancy was the co-founder of the Jewish Festival, and she was also president of the sisterhood. What an amazing thing. What an amazing thing. But she's always been there for me and for this congregation. You've met my kids, Elon, Maytal, and Yoav. They're great kids. It's not always easy to be an RK. An RK is a rabbi's kid. The first year, and I don't know if I told you this story, but in 1995 on Hanukkah, we were in this room, and I decided to come dressed as Judah the Maccabee in a toga, okay? My kids went nuts, okay? It was a little too short for them, apparently. And we had a family meeting during which the three of them, plus Nancy, said, if you ever do that again, we are joining Beth David. I have a great family, and I'm so proud of them, and I now have 3 grandchildren. One of them seems to be snoozing over here, who traveled 24 hours with his mom to be here tonight. And one more on the way. I'm really blessed. So I want to just for a second return to the theme of Kehillah Kadosha, a holy community. Because Rabbi Koren and I have talked about this before, and I just really want to share 2 brief thoughts as to the challenges that this congregation now faces to make a holy community. One is just that we have to find a way to stay together in highly partisan times. Our friends in many mainstream Protestant congregations, denominations, find that their denominations are splintering. But that which unites us as a congregation community, folks, is far greater than anything that divides us as individuals. The greatest example of this, of course, whereas if Neil is still here, he can give you a whole lecture on this, was the move stay issue. The controversy of the late 1990s. There's no doubt in my mind, Neil, that had we split into 2 congregations, many of our achievements would never have happened. And second, as Rabbi Koren and I have discussed, we are really in the midst of a paradigm shift. No one knows what it's going to be like in a post-COVID world, what this congregation will be like, what activities it'll have, what Reform Judaism will be like. No one knows, but I am confident that under the leadership of Rabbis Koren and Fisher, and with your help, as a Kehillah Kadosha, as a holy community, with your help, your cooperation and support, financial and otherwise, the future of this congregation will be created by you. And as a holy congregation, a Kehillah Kadosha, among the people of Israel, the future will be different. However, under the current rabbinic and lay leadership, the future of this congregation is bright. May God bless you in this task. Finally, it has been a singular honor to have served this congregation. I loved our services. I loved teaching all ages. I loved making hospital visits. I loved strategic planning that we did, other things, and above all, I have appreciated and loved your friendship. Thank you as well for the way in which you embraced Nancy and our children. Once again, thank you for honoring me tonight, and above all, thank you for this incredible and holy privilege of having served as the senior rabbi of this congregation for 26 years. Todah Rabbah, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Say it, we got one more song for you, and we saved the best for last. As you know, Rabbi Fred really opened the doors for inclusivity here, people of color, people on the LGBT spectrum, special needs, we can go on and on. And we also have a mutual love for talent. And so this woman came to me at community theater several years ago. I've directed her in many productions. As a matter of fact, if I could put in a plug, I'm directing the musical Beehive, musical of the 50s and 60s at the Barn Dinner Theater. We open next Friday, and Gayle is in it. So if you like what she sounds like tonight, we hope you'll come and enjoy an evening at the theater. So this is a song from Hairspray that Gayle really knocks it out, and I think really says it in a nutshell how Fred feels about life, to remember where we're going and where we have been. And you look beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. It's always an honor and it's always a privilege. There's a light in the darkness, though the night is black as my skin. There's a light burning bright, showing me the way. But I know where I've been. There's a cry in the distance. It's a voice that comes from deep within. It's a cry asking why. I pray the answer's up ahead. Ooh, yeah. But I know where I've been. There's a road we've been traveling, lost so many on the way, but the richest
riches will be plenty, worth the price we had to pay. There's a dream in our future. There's a struggle that we have yet to win. And there's pride in my heart, 'cause I know where I'm going. Yes, I do. And I know where I've been. There's a road we've been traveling. There's a promise that we must make. Oh yeah. But the riches will be plenty, worth the risk and the chances that we take. There's a dream in our future. There's a struggle that we have yet to win. And there's pride in our heart to lift us up till tomorrow. 'Cause just to sit still would be a sin. I know where I'm going. Lord knows I know where I've been. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Okay, so don't be out the cockers, okay? Don't go home. It's only 9 o'clock. You won't melt, I promise you, okay? We've got all kinds of wonderful desserts. We get a chance to schmooze, congratulate Fred, say hey to everybody, and following that...
Much like the cherry on top of a sundae, Havdalah is the cherry of Shabbat. I just wrote that. Attribute me to that. Apparently, it's not as good as I thought it was 20 seconds ago. But please stay for Havdalah. It's going to be led by Rabbi Fisher and Dana, and we're going to have a great time. And thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you. Let's give a nice big round of applause to everybody who helped tonight. Of course, our rabbis, the board of Temple Emanuel, the staff of Temple Emanuel, Chris Tilley at the piano, Jacob Gers doing all of our audio-visual tonight, our dinner committee, our sponsors who made it financially possible, all the participants who performed the delicious food by Painted Plate, all the attendees, and of course, Fred, we love you. Join us for dessert. Have a great evening. Thanks for everything.